The following is brought to you by the Walter D. Kennedy GOP Presidential Exploratory Committee.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing.
In 1964, I was a 17-year-old Goldwater Republican. To admit to being a Republican in the South at that time was shocking to most people. Yet, after reading Barry Goldwater's The Conscience of a Conservative, I became convinced that the Republican Party offered the only hope of reining in an out-of-control federal government. My generation of Southerners abandoned the old ways of the Democratic machine and embraced the Republican Party as the leader of conservative principles. And in the process, we abandoned many of the old ways of doing things down south. It has been through the efforts of Southerners who loved liberty more than political party that the solid Democratic South was converted to the conservative, liberty-loving South that consistently votes Republican. As a matter of fact, it has been the South that has made the Republican Party a majority party in most national elections since the election of Nixon. Southern Republican senators and congressmen have made the Republican Party the majority party in Congress for the first time in 80 years. Yet the promise of less government, fewer taxes, and a reduction in the federal interference in our lives and communities of the South has remained an unfulfilled promise. From the day of Barry Goldwater through Nixon, Reagan, and the Bushes, Southerners have been told to vote Republican. After all, it's the party of less government, lower taxes, and a federal government that is our servant, not our master. In 1964, Barry Goldwater became the first Republican since Reconstruction to win Southern electoral votes. From that election until today, the solid Democratic South has been gone with the wind. In 43 years, and after voting and electing Republicans to office, has the federal tax bite decreased? Have federal rules, regulations, and court orders decreased? Do Southerners have the right to display the 10 Commandments in their courthouses? Do Southerners have the right to defend the life of unborn children in their community? Do Southerners have the right to protect their children from rampant pornography and the homosexual agenda? Are Southerners secured from uncontrolled illegal immigration? And the list could go on. The real question is, why has the Republican Party failed the South? Or perhaps a better question to ask is, why do we Southerners continue to support a party that promises so much but has delivered nothing but failure? After so many conservative election victories, the election of Ronald Reagan, the Republican Revolution of 1995, the appointment of many conservative federal judges, and yet we still have a federal government that continues to grow in power, intrusiveness, and taxing power. What happened to the Republican promise of less government rules, regulation, and interference if the South voted Republican? It should be obvious by now that electing more Republicans will not solve the problem of an out-of-control federal government. The reason that our system of government is out of control is not because that we have not elected enough good people. The reason the federal government is the master and we, the people, are the servants is quite simply the system is broken. In his book, Reclaiming Liberty, Ron Kennedy points out that for over 100 years in the fight against an ever-growing federal government, we have witnessed one conservative defeat after another. Nowhere in the past 100 years has the conservative limited government party won a major victory against the proponents of big government, let alone mount a counterattack. Many politicians tell us that they support limited government, just like the ones our founding fathers gave us. These politicians even talk about cutting the size of government in half. This sounds good, yet something is missing in their rhetoric. What's missing? A system that will force the federal government to remain small and to be our servant and not our master is a key missing element in their rhetoric. Yes, the system is broken when we, the people, are the servants and the government is our master. We are far removed from that system of government given to us by our founding fathers, a system that responded to the will of the people. The system of government given to us by our founding fathers is broken. It was broken at Appomattox. This is one fact that no one in the National Republican Party wants to hear. But the fact that the average Southern voter might hear this message is even a greater fear of the National Republican Party. Many people who proudly defend their heritage as Southerners often wonder why the National Republican Party has been so eager to embrace the NAACP and the politically correct view of the South. Having jettisoned its old concept of race and embraced the concept of equal rights before the law, Southerners stand perplexed by the unwillingness of the elected Republicans to defend our history and our heritage from attacks by the allies of the Democratic Party, such as the NAACP. Yet when one understands that the so-called Civil War was fought not so much to end slavery as it was fought to end states' rights, then it becomes clear why the National Republican Party doesn't defend the South. From its inception, the Republican Party has been the anti-states' rights party. Why should it change now? It will not change unless we make it change. With the death of real states' rights at Appomattox, the Republican Party got what it wanted: a federal government whose action could not be stymied or blocked by a few states in the Union. After Appomattox, the federal government became king of the hill in America. It is now the sole judge of its power. No one can compel it to do something against its will. The people of the states now only maintain those rights that the federal government determines that the people may have. Having been robbed of every right protected by the 9th and 10th Amendment, we, the people, no longer have the tools necessary to command the federal government to live by and abide by the limitations of the Constitution. Today, the Constitution is only what the federal government says it is. Yes, the system is broken and real states' rights are dead. But you may say, what does this mean to me? I'm just a person working, trying to make a living in today's world. The death of real states' rights does not affect me. Really? Let's take a look at that. So you think that real states' rights means nothing to you today? Listen to this. In 1909, my father was born. An ounce of Coca-Cola cost 1/2 cents per ounce. In 1947, I was born. An ounce of Coca-Cola cost 1/2 cent per ounce. In 1969, my son was born. An ounce of Coke cost 1 cent per ounce. In 1993, my grandson was born. An ounce of Coke cost about 3.5 cents an ounce, and today it costs about 6 cents per ounce. In the past 100 years, has the value of an ounce of Coke increased 12-fold? No, your money has decreased in value that much. An out-of-control federal government pursuing unsound fiscal and monetary policy has reduced the value of your money, regardless whether that money is in your pocket, your bank account, or your retirement fund. Before Appomattox, members of the Federalist and the Whig parties, the grandparents of the Republican Party, tried to create a central banking system and fiat currency, but states' rights Democrats such as Jefferson and Jackson blocked them. With the death of real states' rights, Republicans pushed through Congress every measure that Jefferson and Jackson had fought against. This resulted in a government that can now inflate the currency and rob you of your hard-earned income. Now tell me once again that the loss of real states' rights means nothing to you. Most Southern conservatives were appalled when the federal government ordered the state of Alabama to remove the monument honoring the Ten Commandments from the Alabama Supreme Court building. With our biblical worldview, Southerners